Welcome back to Salam Media. You're still tuned in to us. We're coming to you live from Johannesburg. And there was a really horrific story that I think has caught everyone's attention yesterday when yesterday many motorists were robbed of their belongings during peak traffic on the M1 and M2 split at the Crown Interchange right here in Johannesburg. And this is literally a stone throw away from our office. So basically, there were motorists stuck in traffic and gunmen who are suspected to be zamazamas just came onto traffic and started, like sitting ducks, attacking the motorists and robbing them of their belongings. If you were in that situation, if you are in the M1, give us a call on our studio line 0116800355 and let us know about that ordeal. How was it for you? How traumatic it was? I'm sure it was really just sitting in traffic and seeing just people wielding guns and doing God knows what to motorists and robbing them of all their belongings. So this is quite a concerning issue, and we'll be chatting to Mike Bolhuis, who's a specialist investigator into serious and violent crimes. Mike, I'm sure you've heard of the story. I'm sure, as someone who's well fixed into some of the modus operandi of criminals in South Africa, it was a really interesting one. Traffic grid locked, and gunmen just doing as they please with motorists and stealing their belongings. A really, really concerning situation.
Yeah, it's brazen. Many a times we've warned the public that the criminals will constantly look at new ways and means to, to get your loot or your money or rob or steal or kidnap you. And this is just one of those new moves that I think will become more and more. The traffic is standing. People can't go anywhere. They come up from a hidden place and they quickly rob a few cars and they disappear. They usually do this only at intersections. We all see these signs next to the road that says hijack hotspots or be careful, or it's a crime hotspot. But it seems like hotspots of crime is everywhere in South Africa. I mean, if it's not spiking the roads and getting you to stop and rob you, then it's this new, very clever move and very scary. So the concern here is the following. These people have weapons. We know that they sometimes use toy weapons as well. We've recently have seen several cases where toy weapons are used, but still you cannot take the chance. It's very difficult for anybody in that queue of vehicles to get out and to protect those or to deal with those criminals there, because the criminals will just shoot and they do not care what's in the background or on the periphery. And they have absolutely see no value to life. So their main focus and intention, which is absolute a mindset and driving them, is to rob quickly as much as possible and disappear. They have hiding places all over the place and they plan it. It's not just that they say one morning, all right, from here on we're going to commit a crime. They work it out, they see where it works, and they take advantage of vehicles that are standing in a queue, and where there's road jams, traffic jams. They would take advantage of that. So the public must be aware. They should not have any valuables with them at all, and they should not operate on their cell phones, because the main target here is cell phones and handbags and whatever you have with you. And I'm actually surprised that they just robbed a few cars. They could have easily robbed much more. But anyway, that's the warning to the public, and make sure your windows is closed. Unfortunately, you have to be positively paranoid nowadays wherever you go, because crime lurks around any and every corner.
You do mention that people must not have any valuables inside their vehicles. But looking at this, it was in the morning. Traffic gridlock. People are probably going to the office, going to work. You have your laptop in. You have maybe a lot of valuables, and you just hear a knock on your screen. There's a gunman with a gun, wielding a gun and saying you must open. What do you do?
Well, we must be innovative as well. So the laptops, and we have to adapt. We have no other choice. We have to hide as much as possible what we can. Maybe under the seat, um, uh, close to the seat's bottom, an attachment, or in the boot. But what I'm trying to say is these criminals know that people in a traffic jam take out their laptops, do a bit of work on their phones, and they have everything around them like a little office. And that's what they want. If you steal a good laptop today, it's 30,000 rand. You steal a proper cell phone, it's 30,000 rand. They don't even get close to that value when they sell it. They sell it for 5,000 rand or maybe 4,000 rand. But the bottom line is, if they commit these crimes on a regular basis, it's quite an income at the end of the month. So the people must be clever. They must make compartments or hiding places, and they must be aware. You can see for yourself. Go stand in a traffic jam and see how not looking around the people are. They're not looking around. They're not aware of what's going on of them. They would never think this would happen. And I don't blame them. The people aren't wrong here. They're just not aware. But now they should be aware. So be very careful. Make sure you hide every and anything that is of value. And that when this does happen and your window gets smashed or a gun is put against your head, the first thing you must yell loud is say, we know these robberies are going down. We don't have anything here. So that's maybe a clever trick, but we have to think of ways and means to, first of all, protect yourself, obviously, and those who are with you in the car, but also the valuables that we have.
And I want us to focus a bit on engaging, with robbers in a situation like this. What's the best way to engage with them? Do you communicate with them? Do you just give them what they want, or do you try and defend yourself if you have the means? What's the best way to engage with them to make sure that your life is not at risk at the end of the day?
I have two answers to those. Those who can defend and overpower a criminal, say for instance an ex-policeman or specialist investigators like ourselves, or any person that has the ability and the expertise as to overpower a criminal like that without the second criminal being a problem. In other words, you cannot take one criminal, take his gun off, and then the second criminal starts shooting left, right, and center. You have to take everything in consideration, because as I've said, the criminal is not going to consider, well, who's in the background there? And what about if I shoot now? He's just going to shoot, and he's going to cause mayhem. But if you can overpower one or both or all of them, and if you are security experts, you should do so. And if life is in danger, you should, if you are weaponed, and I believe we should all be that are qualified, we should shoot to kill if your life is in danger and other people's lives are in danger. I absolutely believe in that. You have no other choice, because these criminals are brazen. They will shoot to kill. But if you are totally unequipped, unavailable, untrained, and you cannot defend yourself, and it's women and children or the elderly, you should just bow your head and just give whatever. But as I've said, from now on, hide your stuff. But whatever they want, just give it. You need to be meek, calm, cool, collective, humble, and give your full cooperation. Their tactic is to get you in an extreme fear, and make sure that you understand the extreme danger. And out of that, they get what they want out of your vehicle. And this happens everywhere. This doesn't only happen in isolated spots. This is a new one in the middle of the highway in a traffic jam, but it happens at many intersections and many spots all over South Africa.
Mike, looking at South Africa's current crime statistics and just how brazen these criminals are becoming, would you advise South Africans to maybe get, a firearm license? Would this be one of the best ways to try and protect yourself and your loved ones? Should a situation like this arise, do we need more guns, with people, or guns should be a last resort?
And this year is where the public must listen carefully. You cannot drive a car unless you have a car license and unless you've gone through proper training. You know, if we take our youngsters, we take them to driving schools, we take them ourselves, and we take so much care to get them to drive properly because we know that vehicle can mean everything to them in the future, their whole future, pertaining their movement, their business, or whatever they're going to be involved with, studies and so forth. It's the same, absolute same moves you must do when you want a weapon. You must go through proper training. The vehicle can end you up if you don't have proper training in death, and a weapon the same. If you do not have proper, thorough training with a weapon, you do not carry or use a weapon at all. It's not buying a weapon and then in your mind you have peace and say to yourself, well, I have a weapon. But the day you have to use it, you first can't find it because you can't remember where you hid it, or you can't get into the safe quickly enough, or it's not loaded, or it's not serviced, you haven't shot or practiced in a long time, and you're in fear and you're trembling so much that the weapon falls out of your hand, or you shoot and you shoot incorrectly and you shoot somebody else. It need to be an extension of your hand. It needs to be part of your body. You need to be extremely familiar with it, and you need to know exactly, like in all these interesting videos and movies where we see the guys are so prepared and ready with their weapons. It's actually, that is how you should be. Otherwise, that very weapon can be of great danger to anybody around you and to yourself, and can be taken off by the criminals. But yes, I believe in being armed, and I believe also that police minister has said it before, that criminals should be dealt with severely. He's given the police that command. I don't know why that's not done anymore, but criminals should be dealt with severely if there's imminent danger. And if I'm in a car and my family is in danger, and the next possibility is that they could be shot or kidnapped, I will kill the criminals.
Mm. Well, there you have it, Mike Bolhuis there. Thank you so much for joining us, giving some valuable tips. And I think this is where we're going to let it go for now. Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you.
There you have it there, Mike Bolhuis, specialist investigator into serious and violent crimes. If you are in that traffic gridlock near Gold Reef City where, there was brazen criminality, give us a call, 01168000355. I'm sure it must have been a very traumatic experience. Or you can send us a WhatsApp, a voice note on 06176600355. I mean, this is a road that I think most of us use, the M1, M1 South, M1 North. It's a very busy road, and I'm pretty sure, you need to be extra focused and vigilant when stuck in traffic on that road, which is a very, very traffic-ridden road. There's always traffic on the M1. So yeah, give us a shout, and if you have any tips, to give to fellow motorists that you use to make sure that you stay safe during a robbery of this kind. I know it's probably a first of its kind to be robbed, in traffic, because usually, we know that it happens in traffic lights, the smash and grabs that usually happen. But in traffic, on a highway, it must be, something really difficult to deal with. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be speaking about the unemployment crisis in South Africa, as nearly 8 million South Africans are without work. We'll be speaking to Soli Molai from Stats SA. He's going to be painting that picture for us, and he's going to be telling us what it means for South Africa's economy and the social welfare going forward.